that's what's holy. That's what you could do in his chus, is to say a bracha over food and to have in mind the tzaddik.
One has to mention one of the most phenomenal things about Rabbi Shayala, he didn't come from a rabbinical dynasty. Rabbi Shayala was born to a simple Yiddish Hasidic family, but he was such a heilige Yid that his rabbis decided that he has got to be a Rebbe himself.
Wow. So there's hope.
What? Yeah. There's hope for all of us. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be the Midnight Hasidus.
Yeah, it's funny because there was a private meeting once. I'm not going to get into it all now on this channel, but I was sitting with Rav Simai Zilberberg with my father, and he said to my father, he said, "You never know, your son might be doing this one day, sitting and giving out." And my father was so funny. That's why I've got to bring him here. It's just the jokes he made to such a tzaddik, and like the Rav was touching his arm and he had like a nice tennis kind of cricket sweater. So he said, "The Rav likes this. You want one? I'll get you one."
I can see Maya wearing one of those. Yeah.
He said, the Israeli tennis players are doing really well these days. So Simai was like, what about, you must know, I just did a Bruce Springsteen concert. Sounds like a Jewish name, no? You must have heard of him. And he was like, going through all these like Jewish names. And the Rav was like, looked at him and said, "I don't know, all these people you're saying, but look at all these svarim. Do you know them? You see all these books around me?" And it was like thousands of books. I've been to his office.
I've seen him. I haven't been to his office.
So in his office, there's thousands of books, and my father was like, "Oh, so he's got a sense of humor also." "Eddie, what happened to your sense of humor?" They're both like nudging me, like, I don't know, I'm trying to.
And you decided the best thing to do is play the UN. Be a man of peace. I don't know. I'm with both sides. I'm not taking it.
I wish they were man of peace.
Right.
Anyway, all right. So let's hear from Rav Castell now.
So I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Family of 8 kids. 8 later on. I was already pretty grown up when my youngest sister was born. But so it was really 7. I grew up with 7. I was at home with 7. High school in Denver and Muncie. And then I came to Eretz Yisrael 4 years ago to learn by Rabbi Fisher's yeshiva, and that's hashgacha process in itself. How I ended up there, like, totally was not applying to that yeshiva. Never. I don't think I ever. Till this day, I don't think I ever applied. Had an interview, but it was like 10 minutes. One of those, and it was just meant to be, mamish. My DJ career started in high school. Like I said, I was a bored bacher who liked electronic music. And I picked it up, and, I was able to get away with ditching Night Seder because I had a niece I had a brother who lives in Muncie. So I was always able to say, I'm going to babysit, but really I was going to do gigs. and Baruch Hashem, I got involved with Chai Lifeline, which really built up my career. Gave me a voice, I guess, to the broader Jewish world. That's where I've been spending my summers. I guess this year will probably be different just because I'm married. But, that's a camp for kids with cancer and chronic illnesses. So I was able to go there and do my thing and, really build up myself as a DJ, my DJ persona. And I was like, this is what I could do with this. Let's see if I could, continue to help people and make people happy. And so I continued doing it once I came there. So my first year, till this day, I never put in any money into, this year was the first year I put in 200 shekel into, into getting my name out there, into advertising. And, it's, it's a bracha that, I was able to get out there without having to really, make that much noise. And
so who have you featured with? Everyone likes some names,
Have I featured with? Nisim's really the only person I've really featured.
Nisim Black.
Nisim Black is the.
How did he discover you coming to the yeshiva?
So it went back by Corona. One of the brachas of Corona was that we felt in the yeshiva we needed to be mechazik the guys, and I was put in charge of one of the people in charge of making the events over Chol Hamoed and stuff because it was lockdown in 2020 Sukkot, I guess. Yeah, 2020 Sukkot.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It was lockdown in Israel, so we're doing events every night at Chol Hamoed, and Rav Fisher has a shaychus with Nisim from years back. I don't know how far back that goes, but they have a shaychus.
told me.
So he had been in yeshiva. Yosef Brown was a avrich in the yeshiva as well a few years back. So there was already that connection there. And we wanted to book him, so I went and booked him. And
bypassed me.
I was in touch with you. I wasn't. I don't remember. I think I went straight to Aaron. Yeah, I think I went straight to Aaron because I went to Rav Fisher. Rav Fisher's like, oh, here's the agent's number, so his manager's number or whatever he said. So I spoke with Aaron, and we got Nisan to come, and he was booked. And I told Aaron, listen, like I'm a DJ, like I could do his tracks if he needs someone to do his tracks. I could play his tracks for him. And he's like, okay, sure, there's not going to be any money for you, but you could do it. I'm like, I don't need any money. Like I'll do it for the fun of it. And so we did that show. We did an hour show for Fisher's, and there was a tremendous chemistry up there together. And right then he's like, okay, Uman next year. I mean, he was like, he was very into it from the beginning, and I was too. And I was saying we hit it off, Baruch Hashem. And so that continued slightly, and that relationship continued. There wasn't much going on until this past Sukkot. We did a show in Yerushalayim, which was through you, Eli. For who was that for? It was for the
Friendship Circle.
Friendship Circle, right?
And Albaz was there.
Got Albaz, right, and
the other people.
And it went viral.
And I guess
that one
did that go viral?
It did. Well, it did go online, and it did do a good video, and it did get around.
It was a very nice setup. They had a very nice stage setup. It looked very weird.
The one went viral was your wedding. That was
yes. But that's already.
That's already later on.
It was later on. So that was Sukkot, and then I was going to be in America for Hanukkah this year, and I knew Nisan was going on tour. I'm like, okay, I already have this shaykhus with Nisan. Like, let me get in there. Let me, slide in there as his tour DJ. So I hit up Aaron again. I hit up his manager, and I said, listen, I'm going to be in America anyways. Let's work on some of the dates, because I know Nisan likes me as a DJ, and I'm going to, let's try to work this out. And Baruch Hashem worked out. I was able to do 3 out of 6 of the East Coast part of the tour. And that was great. We spent a lot of time in the car together. Had a lot of laughs. He didn't really sleep in the car. He couldn't really fall asleep. But a lot of bonding time in the car with David as well, the last week's guest. And Baruch Hashem, we just had an amazing tour. We were able to bring a lot of joy to people that are not so affiliated. I think that was the goal of those shows, was to broaden his audience a little bit.
And when we heard the good news, he just did a deal with HBO.
Yeah, Nisan just,
Yeah, he's going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah, they're doing a show. Is it a show or a movie?
A combination, Motherland Bounce, about his life. So we have to hear from Nisan himself.
Yeah. I still have to talk to him about it. Yeah.
But it's a big news. And he asked the Rav first. When he was here with the Rav, he got the blessing from Rav Shalom Arush for it.
Wow.
And people are nervous, because it's mainstream already. It's very mainstream, Hollywood's level stuff, but let's hope he'll be a Kiddush Hashem.
Yeah, I think that's his
shine
goal.
A lot of joy and light to the world and truth. Won't get distorted in any way.
Yeah, he actually got the green light, I think. Yeah, on the tour. I remember Aaron called okay, we're that's it. It looks like this deal is happening. So Baruch Hashem, it's very exciting for him. So that was the tour. Baruch Hashem was successful, and. So I don't know how it came about, but people just started filming me. I always my goal was to always bring energy to DJing. I got my personality to entertain. I got it from my grandfather. Olav Shom's Yurtzeit's actually coming up, first Yurtzeit. He was an entertainer. He was the funniest person I knew. He used to do stand-up comedy in the show, like on Purim and stuff, and he was just a very silly but normal person, and he was a tremendous Kiddush Hashem and tremendous impact on my life. He was very present in my life, so I definitely got a lot of his personality to entertain people. I always felt the need to entertain from a young kid, so when I became a DJ, I'm not just gonna stand there and DJ. I want to dance and bring the energy and bring a good positive vibe, and I guess people connected to that. And people started whipping out their phones. And it just, one video, the first video that went viral was in the summer, I believe. It was a wedding I did right before the summer.